Good morning, all of you. So, we are discussing the nomenclature of the carboxylic acids. And the last part of the nomenclature of the carboxylic acids, that is the names of the carboxylic acid salts. Carboxylic acid salts. So, it consists with the name of the cation. The name of the cation is written first, and which is followed by the name of the acid ending with ic acid changed to ic acid changed to OATE, or you can say ATE, that is it. So here the examples of the carboxylic acid. Suppose the carboxylic acid, that is your formic acid. Formic acid will react with the alkali and form the sodium salt, sodium hydroxide. It will form the sodium acetate. And so the common name of this is your sodium acetate. And the IUPAC name is the sodium methanoate, means the methanoic acid. It is the derivative of salt of methanoic acid, and so the sodium methanoate, methanoate means ic acid, ic acid, methanoic acid. Ic acid is changed to ATE, so it is sodium methanoate. Then the another example of your acetic acid, so it will be your CH3C double bond O, O minus, and if it is the potassium hydroxide allowed to react with the acetic acid, so it is potassium acetate, potassium acetate, or it will be called as potassium. Here there are two carbon atoms, so it is the derivative of ethanoic acid. It is the ethanoic acid, so ethanoate, ethanoate. So ic acid is replaced by ATE. Then the different types of the carboxylic acids, if suppose the formic acid is allowed to react with ammonia, we will get the ammonium formate, ammonium formate, ammonium formate, or you can say ammonium methanoate. So in this way, in the aromatic carboxylic acids, suppose the benzoic acid, here you will get the salt, that is sodium benzoate, sodium benzoate. So in this way, we can give the different names to the carboxylic salts of the carboxylic acids. Now we will turn towards the next part of our topic, that is your physical properties. Now in the physical properties, so we will first of all see that the first few members, or the first three members, the first three members of the carboxylic acid family are colorless, liquids with pungent smell, means it's irritating. C4 to C9 are oily liquids, are oily liquids, and C9 onwards are all colorless solids. Now in the odor of these compounds, so first of all, I told you that the first few members, that is the formic acid, acetic acid, these are having the irritating odor, sharp, irritating smell. Then the butyric acid, valeric acid, caproic acid, These are having unpleasant orders, means C4, C4 to C6 are having unpleasant odor, unpleasant odor, and higher are having the little odor with these acids. Higher members are having the little odor and they are colorless in nature. Then the third part is the solubility. Now, the first few members, as all the carboxylic acids are highly polar, they are highly polar, and so they are soluble. They can form the hydrogen bond with each other. Mainly the carboxylic acid always exists in a dimeric form, means the two molecules are attached to each other by hydrogen bonding, and so they are always termed as they are present in a dimeric form, and so they are soluble. First few members are soluble in water, and the solubility goes on decreasing as the alkyl chain goes on increasing, means the solubility decreases, but soluble they are soluble moreover in less polar solvents like your ether, alcohol, alcohol, benzene, etc. Means they are soluble in less polar solvents, but first few members are soluble in water, but higher members are the solubility goes on decreasing as the alkyl chain goes on increasing. Then these acids, carboxylic acids, are always the weaker acid. Carboxylic acids are weaker acids than mineral acids, and the rate of dissociation is just 0.2% in aqueous solution. And when carboxylic acid exists in water, or when it is soluble in water, it always is exist in equilibrium. It always exists in equilibrium, means the anionic form, that is O minus plus H plus, they always exist in equilibrium. And so in this way the solubility of the solvents and the acids are weaker acids. Then the melting points and boiling points. So the carboxylic acids, carboxylic acids are having have higher melting points and boiling points than corresponding alcohols, than corresponding alcohols, because there is a presence, they are always existing in a dimeric form. And if we see the comparable molecular weight of the carboxylic acids and the alcohol, so here the propionic acid having the molecular weight 74, molecular weight 74, the boiling point here it is 141 degrees Celsius, whereas the corresponding alcohol, that is the butanol, having the molecular weight 74, shows the boiling point 118 degrees Celsius, means it's less than the corresponding acid, because this always exists in a dimeric form. So what is the dimeric form? That suppose here the carboxylic acid CH3C double bond O OH. So the two molecules of carboxylic acids are getting bonded by the intermolecular hydrogen bonding with each other, and so it is difficult to break the bond. Whereas in alcohol, suppose here if we just take the example of methanol, the hydrogen bonding is in between, there is only one hydrogen bond between the two molecules, but here there are two hydrogen bonds, and that's why the melting points and boiling points of the carboxylic acids are higher than the corresponding alcohols. Then we will turn towards the next part of this, that is the preparations of carboxylic acid. So here we are not going to deal with the each and every preparation method, but we are going to see the some few reactions and few preparation methods of the carboxylic acid, because most of these reactions we have been introduced in 12th standard only. And so here the first method, that is by the preparation of carboxylic acid by hydrolysis of ester, by hydrolysis of ester. So esters are the compounds which contains the RCOR dash is the functional group of the ester. Means it is nothing but the derivative of carboxylic acid. And so this can be hydrolyzed in presence of the acidic medium or basic medium. So here acid hydrolysis, first of all we will see the acid hydrolysis of the ester. So here CH3 C double bond O OC2H5, that is ethyl acetate. Ethyl acetate on hydrolysis in presence of an acid gives you the formation of carboxylic acid, that is the acetic acid, plus alcohol, that is C2H5OH. Means here you are getting the formation of ethanol and acetic acid. Acetic acid. In the same way, the different types of carboxylic acids can be prepared, and here suppose this is ethyl benzoate. Ethyl benzoate. Ethyl benzoate on hydrolysis will yield, acid hydrolysis will yield the benzoic acid and ethanol, benzoic acid and ethanol. So here we are getting the formation of the different, in this way we can prepare the different types of carboxylic acids. Then the same reaction is just carried out by changing the catalyst, here the alkali hydrolysis. Alkali hydrolysis. Now what is the difference between these two? Here when you carry out the alkali hydrolysis of the same types of esters, that is ethyl acetate, on hydrolysis in presence of alkali NaOH, here you are going to get the formation of the sodium salt of carboxylic acid. Sodium salt of, so here you are going to get the formation of sodium acetate, sodium acetate, and alcohol as the product, byproduct, ethanol. In the same way, here the benzoic acid, the ethyl benzoate on alkaline hydrolysis will yield the sodium salt of benzoic acid, sodium salt of benzoic acid and ethanol as the product. So here sodium benzoate, here the sodium benzoate is obtained as a product. So this was one of the method for the preparation of the carboxylic acids from the esters. Then the second method is the carbonation of Grignard's reagent. Second is the carbonation of Grignard's reagent. Grignard's reagent. So what is Grignard's reagent? It is nothing but your RMgX, that is the alkyl magnesium halide, which is prepared by treating the alkyl halides with the magnesium metal in presence of dry ether. Means the alkyl halides on reaction with magnesium metal in presence of dry ether at 0 degree Celsius will give you the formation of RMgX, which is termed as your Grignard's reagent. Grignard's reagent, or it is also called as your alkyl magnesium halide. Alkyl magnesium halide. So in this way we are getting the formation of this Grignard's reagent, and when this Grignard's reagent is allowed to react with dry solid carbon dioxide or dry ice, which is also called as your dry ice. So RMgX on reaction with carbon dioxide, or it is called as your dry ice, and so this reacts in presence in dry ether at 0 degree Celsius. So here R minus and Mg plus. So R minus will attack on the carbonyl carbon, and this will form a magnesium complex. This Mg plus will attack on this O minus, where the pi bond breaks and shifts the electron density towards oxygen, and so you get R C double bond O, OMgX, OMgX. So in this way we are getting the formation of a complex. So this is the magnesium complex which is obtained in the reaction. This undergoes the acid hydrolysis H2O in presence of H, and so here this bond breaks and you get the formation of RCOH plus MgOH and X. So this is the acid which is obtained, the carboxylic acid is obtained as a product in this reaction. So in the same way, here you can prepare the different types of carboxylic acid. So here if you treat the methyl magnesium iodide with carbon dioxide in presence of dry ether, you will get the formation of CH3C double bond O, OMgI, which on hydrolysis will give you CH3C double bond O, OH, that is acetic acid plus MgOHI. So in this way we can synthesize any different types of, so this is your methyl magnesium iodide, methyl magnesium iodide on reaction with carbon dioxide gives you the complex, and this complex further undergo hydrolysis. So you can prepare any type of, so here phenyl magnesium PHMgBr, phenyl magnesium bromide with carbon dioxide will in presence of dry ether at 0 degree Celsius. So the reaction condition is to be maintained at 0 degree Celsius because these reactions are, as the magnesium metal is there, so the reaction is very vigorous, and so here you will get the formation of pH C double bond O, OMgBr, and will give you the formation of benzoic acid plus MgOHBr. So here it's your benzoic acid. So in this way we can synthesize the different types of carboxylic acids by using this method, that is the carbonation of Grignard's reagent. Then the next part of this topic is the reactions of carboxylic acid. So here we are going to concentrate our studies with a very on certain reactions which are very important and new to you. We have studied the basics in 12th standard and now in FYBSc. Now we want to turn towards the some of the depth of this subject, and the new reaction that is going to be introduced here is your Hell-Vollard Zelensky reaction. Hell-Vollard Zelensky reaction. So this is the halogenation of aliphatic acids. Halogenation of aliphatic acids. Halogenation of aliphatic acid means like your acetic acid, propionic acid, means here the only aliphatic acids are used. So this reaction is carried out in presence of means the carboxylic acid here is allowed to react with in presence of red phosphorus in presence of red phosphorus carboxylic acid with chlorine or bromine to form alpha substituted carboxylic acids, halogen acid, alpha substituted halogen acids, and the reaction is termed as Hell-Vollard Zelensky reaction. Means carboxylic acid in presence of red phosphorus with chlorine or bromine gives you the formation of alpha substituted halogen acid. So what happens here? In this reaction we get the formation of the alpha substituted carboxylic acid. So here HCH3 COOH on reaction with chlorine in presence of red phosphorus gives you the formation of ClCH2 COOH. This is your alpha substituted carboxylic acid, or you can say monochloroacetic acid. So in this way we can continue this reaction and prepare a trichloroacetic acid by treating further chlorine and phosphorus. Here you will get Cl2CH which on further reaction with chlorine and phosphorus will give you Cl3CCOOH. So here this is your dichloroacetic acid, and this is your trichloroacetic acid. So in this way we can synthesize the different types of alpha substituted carboxylic acids. Only the condition is that there is a necessity of alpha hydrogen atom in the molecule, and from this we can synthesize the further another unsaturated carboxylic acids also. So thank you very much. We will continue it in the next lecture.